Hey there, my name is Three Cups Tarot, and I'm so glad that you came across this timeless reading. Today we will be talking about how you view yourself. I call upon my spirit guides, my angels, my protectors, and the universe to guide us through this reading. Quick disclaimer before we start. Although these readings are meant for guidance and advice, please do not take them as professional recommendations. Alright, so let's start. I'm going to put the crystals on the decks. They have already been previously shuffled off camera. You can pick intuitively or with your favorite number. You can pause the video, of course, to make your selection. And if some of you need some guided meditation to help you pick a card, then definitely sit back or relax and take a deep breath in. And just let your mind settle. Don't think about anything else. Look at the cards and just gravitate towards the one that you feel most drawn to. Whether it's the crystal or the number, just feel yourself gravitating towards that certain pile. Like a light connection connecting you and it. An inner voice letting you know, guiding you towards it. Pile number 1, we'll start with you. There we go. And the cards have been shuffled off camera. So let's start your reading. This is the reading of who you are, how you see yourself. First we have Justice. You're a person who is very autonomous. You like the good things in life and you feel that there is more to life than what you have been led on to believe. You're a very sensitive person. You're a person who likes to be in deep thought and likes to not necessarily be the center of attention, although you do enjoy that. But you like to observe rather than to just speak whatever comes to mind first. You like to think it through. The Lovers is a connection card to me as well, so you might be a loving person. The Lovers is a card that, although means two people connecting, two people being in love, it also means to form something, to like to have relationships in your life. You're a person who values that. With that, with your need for relationships, that can also have a negative effect on you if you spend too much time on them and not enough on yourself, which is I find kind of funny because it's kind of contradictory to the first one, where you do like autonomy and you do like to be in charge of your own destiny, but you also value these relationships, and sometimes they can be your downfall if you're not careful enough. Here it is. Yeah, I mean, you do like your alone time. I can definitely sense that because you are a thinker. You are a person who desires that deep connection. You're not a person, although you can be a person who looks for superficial connection. Like your Achilles heel, if you will, is those deep longing, I don't know, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. conversations, kind of relationship kind of thing. And going back to the Hermit, I definitely think that this is where you get most of your thought. Like you collect your thoughts. You might be an introvert. Doesn't mean you necessarily have to be, like I said, whatever resonates with you. But you are a person who doesn't like to take rash decisions in terms of their lives. Likes to live comfortably, and that has cost you a lot, you know. But it has flourished into, like, you have had losses, yes, but you have also flourished with that kind of mindset. The Fool. There is a innate sense about you that is just captivating to people. Maybe your sense of, this is a reading of who you are, right? But it also is a lot. It's a lot to say when this card pops up, because it's just like you have a carefree attitude, or that's what you like to tell people that you have, or you like to demonstrate that to other people, that you have this carefree attitude, that you have this free-for-all thinking, that you have new ideas, and very inquisitive, and like you don't put people down, you know. Like, yeah, you do have these ideas, and you do have these new thoughts and new patterns, and you always want to invent more and create more and make everybody's lives easier, but you don't do it with like a bad intention. You do it so that, you know, people's lives will get better. The Knight of Swords. Okay, here it is. See, I see flight, right? Like, you're definitely a grounded person, because I see a lot of earth tones and like metal. But you're also like so free. Look at that. Like, there's butterflies and birds, and you have your little wing pin on your armor. It reminds me of like Chicken Run, when the rooster who's like the only male there has like his little pin of flight, but like he has to believe in himself to fly the plane, and that's when the other chicken tells him, like, yeah, you can do it. Dollface was her name. And yeah, I mean, I think that you've had that in your life. I feel that you've had people tell you that you can, or maybe even yourself, or maybe situations that you were in, because you are so autonomous, and you do display this kind of outward personality as well. You know, it's funny how this is a reading of who you are, but it's definitely letting me know how it is that you like other people to see you. Let's see what else comes up. Six of Pentacles. So you are a person who, although you are this free person inside and outwardly, you also like to measure your coins. Like, you also want to make sure that your time isn't going uselessly, and make sure that you use enough of the resources that you're given. You don't like to waste. Like, you're not a waster, you know. You don't like to waste time, you don't like to waste money, you don't like to waste friendships, and you take that seriously. Another ace. Here's wands and here's swords. I can see like a lot of flowing. There is definitely let's put that right there. There's definitely a need and a will for you to find yourself and find your path and find out, you know, and that's great. That's like I said, you're an inquisitive person, but that also can kind of make you overthink too much and kind of have a quarrel between who you are and who you want to be. And I think that's why you're always in thought, and you're always like fighting with yourself and perhaps with others, but ultimately like trying to make a way for yourself in this world. But you are a person who isn't afraid to get their hands dirty, isn't afraid to look beyond that which they are given. You are very much a person that has a courage and has resilience. And sometimes that you feel like that's a weakness because you're so strong and you're so autonomous and wanting to do it for yourself and trying to just find your way in deep thought and not letting a lot of people in, even though you know you care so much about your relationships, that you kind of push people away because you are too strong. Sometimes you might feel that way. And see, there's just so many layers to you. Like you need to open yourself up more. You need to let others really know who you truly are. Like you have, like, look at these colors, right? Like if you could just, I feel that this is you with all these layers and like trying to hold everything together and making sure that you're okay, and you know, but then if you could just let these layers peel off and become like three other, not you, I'm not talking about splitting yourself, you know, into three. I'm just saying that if you can, like an onion, like Shrek would say, peel yourself so that you yourself can get to know who these layers are, right? The red and the yellow and the white, because they all come together to make this wonderful person that's you. I'm running out of space a little bit. And there is some hesitancy because you have been hurt in the past, you know, like a lot of us. Sometimes you can fall into cognitive distortions where you can see things as black or white. You don't really see a gray area in there. Let me move this down a little bit. But always know that you have this boss energy, that you have this I will survive energy. I don't know why that song played in my head. I will survive. Because there is like you have a lot invested in yourself, and you have a lot invested in your relationships, and that's great. But always see there's like the wings there, you know, like take flight. If you need to take some time away just to recuperate or just to find yourself, or you know, like, yeah, you have to dance to the beat of your own drum sometimes. And you know, it's funny because although you do portray to, and you do actually have everything you know, taken by the hand, like you have it, you got this, self-sabotage and cognitive distortions and just the pressures of life and inner thought and trying to balance these relationships that you so dearly, you know, hold close to your heart, and then feeling kind of rejected sometimes by people who don't get you, you know, that might influence you to feel a certain type of way, and not take flight sometimes, because it's always nice to just get away from it all, to not have to be tied down, and to not have to, you know, like, be so grounded. Like I said before, you are a grounded person right here. You're a grounded person, but there's always butterflies, and there's always a new way, like a new, like I said, not black and white thinking, not it's just going to be this way or that way. I mean, there is always a gray area, and there's always time for investment. And like grapes, right? Like, they can be used for raisins, they can be used for wine, they can be used for other kinds of alcoholic beverages. You know, it's just dancing and singing at the sound of your own drum, or in this case, at the sound of your own trumpet, and taking flight. Let's see a couple more cards. I see the butterflies here again, you know, to symbolize some type of, you know, like, look at this stoic face. Like, yes, you got it. You want to make sure that you portray that you got it. Like, everything's going to be fine within yourself and within the path that you're taking. But also, smell the flowers once in a while. The overindulgence sometimes of things can be kind of tricky to deal with. Right, like the overindulgence, and then the kind of like, yeah, you got this, you know, like, you are the boss. Like, you know, we got it, you know, like, yeah. And just these little things that you might do to cope when you're not, when you don't feel this way, but you really are this way, might not be that great, you know. I don't know if, like, smoking or drinking, like I said, the smoking or drinking might be a factor. But always come back to this, you know, Emperor status, and the first one as well, where justice, where you are in charge of your own destiny, but, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. All right, let's pull out a couple more cards. I know that this is getting, like, kind of full. Here we are with the Knight of Cups. Let's see if I can, there we go. And see, when I was talking about flow, the other card that it's like water, you know, like water, fish, just incorporating more of, like, that easiness into your life, even though I feel like your life is kind of hectic, or maybe that's how you feel that it is. All right. I also think that you're a person who likes to dress well, likes to present himself or herself well. I'm trying to, there we go. With the Six of Wands, I definitely see that there's a lot of admirers, or that you like to be admired. You're a person who definitely likes to be in control and be in charge. With the Nine of Cups, I see that you're a person who deserves to be treated a little bit better. With the Four of Wands, like, you do have people in your corner, or maybe you feel that you deserve to be treated better, because you do have people on your side, but you're really quick to, like, cut people off as well, maybe because you felt that people were, like, not treating you well. But yeah, this one is like, you got good people in your corner as well, you know, which is great. With the Sun, I can see that you're a person who's vibrant and just positive, maybe, like, childlike sometimes, and that should come out more, or maybe it does come out when you're by yourself. With the Ace of Pentacles, I see a lot of green and nature, so definitely think that you're a person who has a green thumb, maybe likes gardening, and is very much a compassionate person, a person who is full of just a lot of qualities that attracts other people to them, you know, like the sun and like the colors that are so vibrant. How you see the world is also like from a perspective of like being on top, or like maybe pushing down the childlike personality that you might have, and just opting for more of like an adult, I'm in charge kind of thing, when always, you know, you should have this kind of personality, but always incorporating some type of childlike behavior so that, you know, you can break out of the normal. Last two cards. Two of Pentacles and Five of Pentacles. Definitely see how much of a contradiction it can be, in which you have the ability to transform. Like, you have the ability to, with the beliefs that you have within you, to go from like, you know, night and day, and also not to be so indecisive about it, you know, like not to be so worried about the what would they say or what would I do. Like, whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that your childlike personality is telling you, you should go with it, because you never know what it's going to lead you to. And yes, you do have this kind of controlled, I'm in charge kind of personality, but always letting vulnerability show, I think, is very important. Alright, so this was the reading for pile number 1. I know it was a lot of cards, and I hope that you could take something out of it, and thank you for watching. Alright, pile number 2, this is your reading of how you are as a person and how you see yourself. This is the crystal that you chose, pile number 2. Let me just, there we go. Close up. Okay, I'm gonna put that right over here. Alright, so let's start your reading. Nine of Wands. Let me get a close up there. So the Nine of Wands, right off the bat, it tells me that you are a person who is very cautious. You are a person who does not take the first thought that goes into their head and runs with it. You are a person who likes to be, if not assured, validated in your decisions. Sometimes you can be indecisive, especially when it comes to like big life decisions. There's always like something tying you down. I feel that it's not excuses, but sometimes it does feel that maybe like self-sabotage, or other things that are out of your control, or you think that are out of your control, dissuade you from coming to a decision for yourself. Eight of Cups. I also see that you are a person who likes to take their own path sometimes, and that might not be the path often traveled. You might create your own path and hope for the best, but that also can cause a lot of indecisiveness within you. Like I said, you like to ask for guidance and ask for advice and network and make sure that, you know, you dot your I's and cross your T's. You're a person who is likes to see the glass half full, because there's an optimist inside of you, pile number 2. with this red and the flowers and the yellow, I can definitely see you trying to attract positivity and trying to be positive, because progress is always near, like Eight of Wands with the progress and trying to forge your own way. But you're also the type of person who might not want to stir the waters, I guess you can say, and just hope for the best. So, like I said, you do see the cup half full, but you also are a patient person who would like to see things through. Let me put this down a little bit. With the Queen of Wands here, I definitely do sense that you have some type of energy that is very uplifting and very authoritative when you want to be. You're the type of person who may also look to that figure in your life, that authoritative person, to guide you, whether it's a person or a colleague, a parent, a sibling, because you do like to, which is fine, you know, you do like to have advice, and you do like to, you know, double check, make sure, and that has gotten you far, because you are a positive person and a hopeful person, and also like a person who likes to make their own voyage. And with the Empress here, I can see that you're also the type of person who has a big heart, who likes to, you're the type of person who is so generous, and like you're generous with your time and like with your money and with the people that you're around with. You are a very generous person. Maybe with the clothes, you maybe like to donate. You like for everybody to feel comfortable. You like for people to be comfortable around you. And if you can provide that, you know, you like people to be happy around you. You like success around people that you know, the relationships that you have formed. With the Ten of Cups, I see that you are a person who radiates that, who radiates happiness, who radiates this sense of wanting to be okay and wanting to be good with what you have. With the Ten of Wands, I see that you are also a hard worker. I see that, see a lot of wand energy. I see that you are the type of person who likes to not only, you like to put your money where your mouth is, and not just be this charlatan who's talking about doing stuff but actually doing it. With the Four of Swords, there is definitely some type of hindrance sometimes when it comes to that, but also like not even a hindrance, but you have the means to do so. I feel that, yeah, sure, you want to take advice from people, because I think that as a child you were tied to like your mom or like your parents or something, or an adult figure, or like an establishment, and you always thought that, okay, these are the 3 ways that I'm gonna make it, or these are the 3 ways that I have, these are my options basically. But you always have like an extra one, you know, you always have this alternative. You don't really necessarily need to, although people's advice and people's you know, decisions for you is important to you, and how you feel, always going back to who you are, always going back to what you want to do. I think that's the most important decision. That's the one that counts, you know, in my opinion. But yeah, see, I see the High Priestess, and I just think of how the manual is in your hands, you know, how these pillars are supporting you, and these pillars are yourself. Like, you have to have more, you need to rely on yourself more. You need to have more confidence in yourself. With the Seven of Cups, I feel that you're the type of person that sees yourself in so many different ways, but they're all good, you know. And not only that you see yourself in so many different ways, but there are options. Like I said, like when it comes to this, there's always options. Like, life makes you think that there's only 3 ways to do it, but if you just look deep inside, look at the gold. Like, would you rather have the silver sword to pick or a gold sword? And you are gold, you know, and everything that you touch, everything that you are is gold. And I feel that sometimes in your head, pile number 2, you might be a little bit too concentrated, based on your upbringing, I guess, on how others might feel, how others might be doing, how others might react when they see you or think of you, or, you know, whatever. And you might not be such a go-getter kind of person, because you do rely on these authoritative figures, you do rely on others for decisions, but you are, look, right here, like, you are a person who wants to make their own decision. With the Death card that just came up, you are a person who should take a new beginning and should let go of what doesn't serve them anymore. Because sometimes our personality is not sometimes, always, like, we are ever-changing people. Psychology might let us know nature versus nurture, right? Which is an important aspect of who we are, but we also spiritually and divinely, we also shed that in our lives. With the sun and the moon here, I see polarities, but not so much, because the sun can't exist without the moon and vice versa. So in your case, it's kind of like, shed what doesn't serve you anymore. You won't lose who you are. You won't lose connections. You won't lose, you know, everything you've worked for, which I think is a fear of yours. You will only gain, because sure, it might seem like, oh, everything is lost, everything is woe is me, but no, death is a good card, because it means new beginnings, new opportunities, a new foundation for yourself. With the Ten of Pentacles, see, it's like everything will be okay. You know, like, I think that's a big one right there for you, that everything will be okay. And I think it's been stemmed from childhood. I see, like, a little kid there with, like, his or her parent. And yeah, you don't need to be scared, or because you do have strength right there, you know, like, you have it. You have that courage, you have that strength within you to pull through. And you are a good person, you know, like, I'm not saying that there's good or bad people, I'm just saying that you are a good person. With a star, it's, you know, center your objectives, make goals for yourself, put yourself first, and everything will flow, you know, like, everything will flow. But you have to be at the center of your own life. You do, like, yeah, you really do, pile number 2, because you have options in your life. You have the ability, you have the strength, you have the compassion and the loving and the success, just the indecisiveness and the tied down to things that you can't control or you think you can't control. Believing in yourself, putting yourself first, making sure that here with the Three of Swords, that your heart is protected, pile number 2, because I feel that sometimes, or maybe, like, there was an experience where your heart wasn't protected. and someone was able to get through, or something was able to get through and just hurt you. With the King of Wands, I sense that there is change coming. I know this is a reading of who you are and what you're supposed to think about yourself, but I think that there is hope and strength, with the Lion, and new beginnings. And I was taking so much time looking at this print right here, and it's so funny how this print came out too, because it is like a circle. I don't know if you can see that, pile number 2. It just looks like a circle, and I know it's like a gecko, like this little animal here, but it just seems that it's gonna be okay because the circle of life, and like it can either mean a lot of things, like a circle means infinity, a circle of how you might see yourself and how your different patterns keep repeating themselves, and you think that you're gonna go somewhere in life, but you have to break that cycle, you have to break that circle and take the reins for your own life. Like here they are, 2 different patterns, but like one is on a horse taking the reins, holding its staff, and that one is too, but this one is sitting down on its throne looking out at what could be. Alright, the 3 last cards. We have the Page of Pentacles, the 5 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands. I think it's going to take time, pile number 2. I think that you are a patient person, and that you like things to get done at your pace, which is completely okay, and that you do offer yourself to a beginning, like you do give yourself that kind of leeway or path. Just sometimes, circumstances in life might hold you back from completing it, and sure, there might be inner conflict or outer conflict and feeling that you are tied down to certain things that might not let you move forward, and that's why you rely on your indecisiveness and looking towards other people for guidance and help, which is completely okay, but that you will get through it. 2 of Wands is definitely a card that shows, like the man having, well, it could be a man or a woman, having the world in their hands. And those 2 pillars, you see those 2 pillars right here? It's like what I was talking about with this card, the High Priestess, the 2 pillars, that you will be okay, that you are the only person that you need to rely on in this world. You are the only person who has the manual and have the pillars right next to you, which in your life could signify a lot of things, whatever it is that you rely on, but within yourself, maybe you're like I said, the strength that you have and the compassion and the hard work, because you are a hard worker, all of that will get you towards where you want to be, pile number 2. So that was my reading for you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Pile number 3, this is your reading, and I'm going to make a close-up of this beautiful crystal. It has gotten dark outside, so I had to turn on the lights. So that's why the lighting is a little bit different from pile number 1 and 2. Like I said before, the deck has been shuffled off camera. Alright, pile number 3, so let's start with your reading. You are a person who, with the 8 of Swords, is bound. Like you're bound to something. Yeah, I see a lot of, there's a lot of, with these 2 cards alone, pile number 3, I sense a lot of just negativity, maybe some type of, you're not taking care of yourself, maybe self-sabotage. I see a lot of just unwillingness, I think, to kind of change your life, maybe. Whether it's because of a circumstance that you're in control of, or whether it's something that's way out of your control. You're just bound by something. There's something that just, yeah, like the Tower came up. Pile number 3, do not hate me. But I think that it's the Tower isn't something to be scared of, you know? Like, the Tower is definitely of, yes, great commotion and great turmoil in your life and conflict, but it definitely signifies that at least there's some type of action going on. And by this I mean not like, oh yeah, great, you know, yeah, I'm just, my life is falling apart, thanks. No. But more of a new leaf turning. The things that you're bound by can only last for so long, you know. There's a saying that says there isn't bad that can go on for so long, or a human body that can tolerate it, you know. Yeah, like after all this, you know, after, okay, so this is a reading about who you are and how you view yourself, right? And I just think that right now, in this time of your life, you just, and I think I need to be clear to say that right now, in this time in your life, because life is ever changing, and that's what I told piles number 2 and I think 1. You are not going to be the same person you were 10, 5, 7 years ago, or you're not going to be the same person right now as you're going to be 10, 15, 20 years from now. Right now, I just sense that there's a lot of self-sabotage, a lot of self-destruction that is playing a role in your outside life, of course. And that might be like bad thoughts or bad habits, or just toxic habits, toxic thoughts. But with the 6 of Cups, you need to be kinder to yourself. Pile number 3, you just need to be, you need to be more nice to yourself. I mean, you only have one body, and that's the body that's carrying you around, you know, and the body that you have is one that will take you on towards the end of your life. And yeah, sure, sometimes you might hate it, based on the ailments that you might have, whether it's a mental illness or maybe an accident that you had, and then, you know, you just feel like worthless sometimes. But there has to be more compassion for yourself. With the Knight of Pentacles, I see that a lot has been taken away from you, pile number 3, and you just don't have anything else to give. Yeah, a lot of you have lost, or someone has taken, or you have given and they've just misused it, your energy, your time, your being, your soul, who you are, how you are. And it's just been like your life, like what? It's just been a roller coaster, I feel like. With the Wheel of Fortune, I just see that everything is unpredictable, or maybe you feel like sometimes your life is unpredictable, and therefore you have this sense of feeling trapped, feeling like you don't want to be vulnerable anymore, feeling like despair might just, you know, consume you sometimes. I don't know if there might be like mental illness going on, or which, you know, who doesn't, right? Anxiety, depression, things that sometimes can block us from feeling our true emotions, because they are just cognitive distortions and like I said, mental illnesses that don't let us get through to the real person inside of us, which is right here, you know, like trying to break free. And that's why I say, you know, trapped. With the 2 of Cups, I definitely see, you know, maybe like a health problem, Or maybe you're trying to take charge, maybe you are trying to, like, you have been through this, you have been through this turmoil in your life, and you have been through this mental health journey, or just journey in general with your own body, and you feel that now, or always, maybe you have been in therapy and you have taken the reins, and you are in the process of healing, because like I said, your life right now is not a reflection of what it was, or how it's going to be, or how it's going to end up, because and then a two popped out on me, like maybe you feel like you only have two options, maybe you feel that you only have two ways out, or you want to get out because you feel trapped, and you feel that within you, right, deep within you, you feel like you have all these options, and you want to feel that life will get better, and everything will come to a heat, but your own maybe cognitive and psychological issues might not allow you to break free from your own self, or from what others, the external world might have put upon you, in terms of stress and just sadness and grief, or all the other kinds of BS that we have to go through in life. Yeah, I think that you are a person of strong will, but even like the strongest man will cry, or the calmest waters will stir up once in a while. You are a person of conviction and of good nature, and just right now, life sometimes can get ahead of you, and you want to go away. I think that you have had plans of moving or leaving a person or situation or an environment, and I think that's great. I think that the reading was about who you are, and how you view yourself and how you view the world, and I think that you live sometimes too much outside your head, where that reflects in the reading. Like, you need to take care of yourself more. You need to spend some time with yourself a little bit more, pile number 3. Dedicate some time for yourself. Dedicate some good long hours to exploring, your options, and exploring why it is that you feel trapped, and why it is that you feel that, everything is lost, or everything that you touch, or everything that you give sometimes is not treated with care. Because and when I said that, not treated with care, just fragile came up. I'm not, like, fragile is a word that came up. Let me put this down a little bit. Okay. Because fragile is like handle with care, it doesn't mean that you are the world perfect, like I said. It doesn't mean, fragile doesn't mean that, you're a little, glass vase that can't be touched, or nobody can say anything to them, or they have to walk on eggshells. Nothing like that. You are a person that is fragile in terms of the world, like the world itself is so fragile. We have to take care of our environment. We have to recycle, and just our pollution, make sure that that's not going to go and kill us all, in a couple of years. I know I'm going on a tangent, but that's how you are. The world, you deserve to be treated as such, like, and you deserve to have all that you want. The world means that you do have the worldly possessions that you desire, and the materialistic kind of dreams, I guess, that all of us desire, like a house and a car, and if it is what you want, or just an apartment with your cat, whatever it is that you might want, you deserve it. You deserve it. And that takes, you are a person who likes to take their time, and likes to be detail oriented, and likes to and likes to see their product well done, and not just, you know, a Walmart made by, you know, like a ton of people kind of process, where there's no attention to detail, or there's no like special unique kind of way where you do it. You're a craftsman or a craftswoman, or you're just a person who likes to value their art and their time, but due to many other outlying circumstances in which sometimes you spend your head on too many days and even nights, you don't get to focus on it that much. Because really, in reality, there is so much, like, you're only letting so much of you show. Like, you're that type of person who only lets, you know, 15% of them show. I wouldn't say mysterious, but I would say that there's more to you. Like, there's definitely your safety cloak of protection, obviously, because of what you've been through, right? And what you're going through, maybe, with the Tower and the Ten of Swords. But there's true vulnerability, and there's an essence within you. Yeah, that just wants to break through, or that is breaking through. Because look at the difference between this guy and this guy, you know? There's always space for you to feel this way, though. I think that, you know, the message is trying to come across, where you don't always have to be in a space of, oh, I got my ish together, and I got everything, you know, I know what I want. Always allow yourself to feel, and always allow yourself to be in this space, but don't let it get to a point where, you know, you feel trapped, or you feel like there's only two ways out, or you feel like there's no way out. Let me move this on up a little bit. With Temperance, I think that patience, and just give it time. You know, give it time. You are protected. You are divinely, like, messages are always given to you, I think. Not always, but like, if, you know, you see a recurring number, or like a recurring dream, I think, you know, pay attention to that. But patience. And sure, that might, because you feel trapped, right? And you feel like sometimes you don't get the worldly things that you need, and you want to leave, and you just want to just break free, and, you know, dedicate yourself to your craft. But Temperance is talking about everything is coming, you know, like, everything's coming to a heat, everything is going to resolve itself. There's always a yellow brick road, you know, because at the end of the day, you are the owner of your destiny. You are the only one who can tell yourself what it is that you can and cannot do. Stars are the limit, you know, and if you need to take the time to go, then I think that would be great. You know, a recurring theme, I think, for everybody here is, for every pile, is self-care. I think pile 2 also had that recurring theme, where it's like, you need to care about yourself before you start caring about others. Because, you know, the whole RuPaul thing, how are you gonna love yourself? How are you gonna love anybody if you can't love yourself? You know, or something like that. And everything's gonna just unblock itself for you. I'm like running out of space, because I feel like you're like in a tub, and like the water is coming up, and you just, you know, you feel kind of trapped, and you don't know, and you just want options, and you just want a way out, and it's like it's becoming overwhelming sometimes. But like, you're gonna get through it. And your personality is kind of like that, you know. You're the type of person who can take a lot, as much as you might think that you can't, you're the type of person who can take on a lot, but you have to be honest with yourself when you take on all of that, whatever it might be, family issues, work, schooling, your kids, marital issues, whatever it might be. Take it on, but then realize that you're taking it on. You know, you can't fool yourself. From as much as we might think that we can outsmart ourselves, we can't. And these two cards are like, you know, patience and determination. Like taking on and then letting it flow through us. You know, like, okay, yeah, we'll take it on, we'll brave through it, you know, the tower, fine, but then here comes the respite, here comes the self-care, here comes the it'll work through. Like, I need the patience, I need the time, and I need the attention to myself and my craft. Right here, you know, like, you have so many talents. You're a very talented person. As much as you might think that you don't have that many talents, you do. And any talent is a talent, you know, like, when we're born, we have like a basket full of just like things we can pick. When we're born, kids don't care if they can draw inside or color inside the lines or draw a perfect circle. You know, kids are just wanting to have fun and wanting to do what their little heart pleases them to do. And the whole theme of this has also been, you know, letting your inner child out. With all the piles as well, that has been a recurring theme. So I think I'll do a reading about your inner child because I think that's a message that the spirits are trying to convey to me. But yeah, the moon, you know, some people might see, you know, the moon as not a negative, but like a card to be weary, wow, I can't speak English, about or worried. But I don't. I think the moon is so big and like gigantic and just full of, the moon is like, it can take on, but it's also so powerful, and it directs people's lives. It just gives us life, and it also pulls the waters, you know, with low tide and high tide. It's just so powerful. You are a powerful person. These are the last two cards. There we go. Use your talents, exploit them, get to know them. Whatever small thing you might think like, oh, that's not a talent, anybody can do that. No, because you're doing it, because you're the master and the author of what it is that you are, you know, putting out into this world. Whether there's millions who already do it or just one person, you're still that singular person that's doing it, and that's what makes it special. That's what makes it unique. That's what makes you unique. And then the Nine of Pentacles, you know, like, look at you. You're just, it's bountiful. You are bountiful. You are just radiant and shining and caring. You are a caring person. You portray that out into this world, but sometimes that self-care, right? That having for you, right? So, okay, sure, you can give, right? You can give and you can give and you can give, which is great because you are an awesome person that likes to give. You like to create and give, but then sometimes you feel that, oh, you know, sometimes it's like too much. So then you withdraw, and then sometimes these events happen, and you need to, again, you know, exploit these talents and make sure that these talents are also something that you are putting attention towards, and have them in your wallet. You know, you can't give that what you don't have. And enjoying your hobbies and your life and whatever it is, you know, more gratitude. I think that you are a strong person who needs to rely not only on the fact that you're strong, that you can, you know, process certain things with somewhat of an ease, on the outside world, of course, because inside, like I said, you are feeling this way and there are internal conflicts, but letting that show as well and asking for help and feeling yourself out, you know. Everybody doesn't, they're not, nobody is born knowing. So with you just having these amazing gifts and talents and abilities, use them, exploit them. Don't feel that there's only two ways or just one way out of this. And self-care, just a lot of self-care, you know. All right, that's the reading for today, pile number 3. Thank you for watching.